Hey guys, it's Level Up, session 15 with special guest Titus Lunter. And as usual, we are here with Darek, yeah,
Hey.
Wojtek, and we'll do awesome stuff today. We'll drink vodka and we will grow a beard. Not really, but you know, we have pretty cool stuff to show you today. I'm really happy that Titus had some time to join us today. If you don't know him, go to tituslunter.com and you will see his awesome and beautiful epic environments. He worked for Sony. He's working on The Division right now, so he's pretty big in that industry right now. Yes, he is.
I'm massive, yo.
Yeah, you're master of the universe. So basically, just go to Facebook, type in Titus Lunter, and follow this guy because he's awesome. And you can see all the awesome stuff he's putting out there, and you will see it forever. So, yeah, he will be doing a demo for us today. He will show us some cool tricks and stuff he's using all the time, because seriously, I have no idea how to paint that. Like, it's just too awesome. I love his moods, I love his palettes, and it's just beautiful. So again, tituslunter.com, and go and follow him on Facebook. So let's just say hi.
So, right. I got really distracted, like after an amazing start, like something's happening on my right. I see stuff moving. Thanks for having me here, guys. We're gonna fight through some of my weird PC things today, but hopefully I can kind of.
Yeah, man, no worries. It's all casual, so just chill out.
Well, that's all good.
Alright, so one more thing about chat and questions and answers. We will be picking questions from the YouTube chat, because the questions and answer link is long gone. We don't know why. So basically, just go to YouTube, type in questions, and we'll be answering them from there. And the second thing is we have set up the YouTube channel that you are on right now. So basically, we are trying to upload all the stuff there right now. We will slowly upload all the sessions. They will appear in here in that section, so you will easily you will be able to go in here and just watch the session you want. So just go and follow us here. You will be up to date with everything. And yeah, I think that's all. We can move on to the demo.
Yeah, and also, guys, one more important thing for all those who have grown a beard to become really good concept artists. We now have to get rid of the beard and keep the mustache. That's how we get as good as Titus.
That's how we do it.
I got rid of my beard this morning. I remember, like, oh no, I gotta grow it back. That's the challenge, man, for today. I'm growing it back.
Actually, maybe that's like the next level.
Yeah, that's the next level mustache.
Yeah, that would be a
like Dali, he was the king of the mustaches. So.
Oh man, I'm so jealous. I got nothing.
Yeah,
that's the real thing, man.
Stuff. All right, so maybe let's share your screen and let's
share my screen.
What you can do, yeah.
Here we go.
What you can do, man. Bring it on.
See what I got. Okay, is the screen share all working?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I can see some custom panel stuff.
Oh, it's not as impressive as Jonas' stuff. I got like a baby setup going over here. It's okay. It'll do for now.
It's cute. It's cute.
Cute.
It's my home thing. Okay, I'm like never home anymore. I gotta get used to this.
I don't have a life.
Yeah, you don't. Actually, before Titus starts, sorry for interrupting. Before Titus starts, I just want to tell that Jonas and Darek will be doing overpaints off screen. Am I right or am I wrong?
You are right.
Partially.
So you will be doing some painting off screen. So we'll be later on switching to Jonas and Darek to do some overpaint. Sorry guys that I'm not doing any because I'm just, you know,
He's the
somebody
host,
has
he's
to.
the man.
As always, man, as always.
Yeah,
You do nothing.
I will try to make it up in the group later on, posting some overpaints. So Titus, go ahead.
Mr. Awesome Moderator. Okay, thanks. So I prepared a bunch of ref for this demo this week. I took the tips from you, Wojtek, where you do the search function with the images that you can edit, which is good, great. Flickr has the same thing. So I just grabbed a bunch of images that I thought were cool, kind of in the same mood. I thought, let's stick with some cool ruins. And I'll be kind of demoing the same technique that I did one of the last paintings up, where I kind of just mash things together until I see something and then actually start building the whole image. So it's a fairly quick and loose technique that we use in the studio, that I use in the studio. So yeah, let's see if I can find a tasty base plate to begin from.
So that is the process that you are using to start your production paintings, or just your personal ones, or is it just your general workflow?
Well, there's two different ways that I approach an image. Either I grab a base plate and start adding pictures to it and painting over it and editing and mashing, or there's the very old one, I think, that where you just grab one image and you completely destroy it.
Okay.
Which is something I think is a little bit more fun. I mean, I have no idea whether or not this is going to work, because it's always kind of a hit and miss type of thing. But we'll see. I'm just going to have fun with this stuff and see what happens, really.
I always loved that kind of an approach, like trying to get something from an abstraction. It's really like, it may be not useful in a production environment because sometimes you have to have something really specific in your painting. Yeah,
of course. I mean, I think when you're doing exploration painting, so that's another thing about concept art, which maybe not everyone is aware of, is that you have so many different phases of concept art that you go through, and the early ones, the exploration phase, are quite loose, and you can experiment a little bit more, which is super fun, and that's where you might see this type of technique a little bit more often, because you use the base plates of the topic that you want. So your color palette, your detail, your visual language always kind of be where you want it to end up with anyway. So you can be a bit more loose with it.
I was walking down the street about 2 hours ago, and I saw like an old rotten banana peel on the ground, and I saw like a naked lady in it. I'm not kidding. I took a picture of it. I actually saw.
Maybe not a picture of exactly that, but maybe a picture of that you're fucked up.
No, it was from the back, so it was quite. It was not.
From the back. All right.
Oh
nice. Yeah,
naked ladies from the back.
Like her back and the. Yeah, she was like sitting on a chair. I'll send you the picture later.
Now there's a chair involved.
Well, she was sitting on something, and you see her back, and she's like looking behind her.
On what exactly?
But that goes. It was a banana peel on the street, like a brown.
Yeah, but she was sitting on something, and it was.
She was sitting on a piece of banana peel. I don't know, man.
Oh God.
My point is that a part of being a person with an imagination is being able to see things, or seeing shapes or recognizing things in things that aren't there. There's some very nice work that I saw recently of a guy who did like science fiction paintings based on spoons. So you can take a very small object and sort of imagine what it would be like as a superstructure.
Yeah, exactly.
And turn it into a really cool city environment, even though once starting off with something.
I've been painting these still lifes for quite a bit of time, and then I looked at my printer, and it looked like some kind of a sci-fi station for spaceships and shit, and I was like, oh cool, this is like ready to go, and the perspective is cool, and everything is cool, just really cool stuff that you can do with objects on your desk even.
sometimes it just gets thrown in your lap like that. Silly not to use it. But yeah,
bottle of vodka can be also science, you know.
behind the scenes, man, it's
Darek,
nothing but vodka. All Darek talked about all day. I'd say, Darek, listen, guys, just stop, okay? With the vodka, it's like non-stop. What am I doing? He's like, do I even want to do this session? I don't know, man.
I have to
talk to
drink.
Darek.
Yeah, the vodka. You have it just behind you, right?
Yeah, I will show it later.
Level Up brought to you by vodka.
I'm not looking for sponsorships, but, you know,
But yeah,
someone out there knows anyone
exactly.
making any of this stuff. Brilliant. See if I can mix things up a little.
So you are just searching for shapes and for overall ideas, and after that you just pick up some perspective for.
Yep. I'm just kind of doing some exploration right now. I might revert back to using a different technique, but I think for the first couple of minutes we can kind of have some fun with
Take
this.
your time. There's no rush.
See what's going on. These things. So yeah, and obviously in the studio I would work. I'd approach this a little bit differently. Or completely different, I guess. Much more rigid. You use the photos in a much more literal sense. Obviously, you wouldn't be kind of messing around with it so much.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a speed kind of thing. You want to be quicker than this. This might take a while before I get something nice. You never know. And with the other technique, you always know. You're kind of like, okay, within an hour, I'll have like a solid painting already.
Mm-hmm.
So while you're working, you start with some line art or some exact thing, and after that you make photos to create a and overall mood, or how does it work?
No, I don't think I can remember the last time I used line art for the concepts I was doing. So I kind of start with the big phase is the ref phase. I get a brief with a feel. Let's say, okay, we kind of want to have this image feel like this. Kind of sets the scene, so it could be dark and moody. It could feel like, oh, we want it to feel like a graveyard scene or a swamp scene, anything like that. And you start looking for ref and looking for color palettes. And as you're doing that, as you're looking for all the ref and stuff, you keep that image or the idea of the image in the back of your head, thinking, okay, what colors would be cool, what composition would kind of work for this. And so as you're looking for one thing, you kind of let the image already build in your head. So when you see reference that might be useful, you go like, okay, yeah, this is kind of cool. This would fit the idea that I'm having right now.
But do you make some sketches with your just regular strokes?
No, I used to make sketches just with photo bashing. You just make very quick 15-minute black and white sketches, and you present them like it's done. It's just that I found that most of the art directors that I've had the pleasure of working with, they can read the photo bash things really well. So it's just super quick. Your perspective doesn't have to be super good. You can just be rough. And it's just a quicker way of working. Unfortunately, the days where we can just paint and sketch, all that stuff, are slowly getting behind us.
Yeah, exactly.
Projects are getting bigger, so things need to be done faster and better quality.
So the most important is just mood and convey overall, just idea.
Yeah, mood is the most important thing, and that's another thing about concept art these days. So much is grounded in reality. Even in fantasy games, a lot of it is grounded in reality. That we kind of used to now working with photo plates. So the design and concept design is shifting a lot towards how is this shot going to look? What kind of colors do we want in it? What kind of atmosphere? It's not how does this building look or how does this prop look? That happens all the way at the end. You know, you go through so many stages, but the most important one, and the thing that you as a concept artist, especially on environments, do the most is set the scene, set the mood. What could be a cool lighting scheme here? Is this too dramatic? Is it not dramatic enough? Etc. So, yeah.
So sometimes it just comes from kind of abstraction to get the real thing.
Yeah. You could like I could show this what I have right now. If I was working on a game with deserts and temples, I could go like, so is this kind of the thing you want to go for? Do you want to go for something more claustrophobic? Does it need to be more open? Yeah, you can kind of start talking about that. Talks about design and how buildings should look come all the way at the end, because if you spend all your time designing that and art direction or creative direction goes like, you know what, we kind of want to push this in a different way, and you just spend all that time, that's just a waste. However, quick mood images, they can use that for everything. They can bounce that back to level design and to narrative, and in that way, concept art still gets to play a very nice role in helping the team out, which is what we're here for. We're trying to help the team out, create some cool ideas. And
yeah, I encountered people that are very skeptical concerning the photo bashing techniques. They do not require any fundamentals and stuff, which is exactly opposite actually. It requires tons of experience in just regular drawing and painting to do that kind of stuff. I think. What do you think about it?
Yeah, it's hard. Painting always needs to have good composition, good values, all that kind of thing. You need that. And working with photos, they don't necessarily give you that. They give you a lot of detail, which is nice. The detail they give you is amazing. They don't give you good composition. You can put 5 photos together and you have a shit composition. So then what? You gotta go back to basics, and same for the colors. Yeah, if you use the base colors in a photo, oh, that's nice. But what if they ask for a color change? What if they ask for a mood change? So you need to be able to do all these things. The fact that we're using photos is because they give us a lot of free information, and they free up a lot of time. And the time that they free, we can spend on making more images. So instead of being able to deliver 1 image with 1 mood, we can all of a sudden deliver 4 images, and they might change their minds and go like, yeah, actually, this is a cooler idea. Let's go with this one.
Exactly. It makes you more appealing to the company you're working for also. You're worth more.
Yeah, it's all about how many iterations can you come up with, how many good ideas, and then all of a sudden you'll notice that if you have to do 4 images, you have to come up with 4 good ideas. And I think that's the essence of being a good concept artist, coming up with good ideas.
Yeah, people ask me a lot, why do you always worry about being fast, or why are you trying to do things quickly and speedy and stuff? But, it is actually important to be able to learn how to bash out ideas fast. Like the technique that you're using now is mostly about speed as well. Yeah. And it is definitely in an industry where you need to, like you say, you need to come up with a lot of ideas in a short time. You just can't afford to do line drawings and stuff that will take you ages. You just have to find techniques to be able to present something readable within a very short time frame. And the way that you do it is actually not important. I mean, you're using photos now, but you can, a lot of people are very good just using brushstrokes, and other people will bash 3D. It doesn't matter, there's so many different techniques. It's all about being, the reason that you're really viable to a company is the fact that no matter how you do it, you have this output within this time frame that is of a certain quality, and that's all they really care about.
Yeah, you'll never hear an art director say, "My man, this is a cool concept, but it wouldn't so much better if you just painted everything."
Yeah.
No, that's not actually a thing, and that's where the big difference comes between concept art and illustration. So the things that you see in some books and stuff, that might be touched up on marketing a lot. And if people ask for it, can we have an image with a car exploding and 2 people jumping over it, and then this helicopter? You go well, maybe for film you get that, but when talking for games, this sounds like a marketing image to me. What you need it for a poster. I'm sorry, that's not what we do. Get your marketing division to do that, because that's an illustration. We're doing something else right now. We're designing the world. So if you have time for it, yeah, good. It's nice change of pace sometimes. Get some different things going. If you can do illustration and painting, it's nice. Most of all, the fun for me comes when you do one of these quick bashes, and you get something finished in an hour or two, and people go like, yeah, this is a good setup. And you have a day or 2 days to finish it. That's like amazing. All of a sudden, you have 2 days to finish a painting. Nice.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you can even devote more time to explore your like abstract composition before you apply any photos, actually, because you know that you will be pretty fast with photos later on, so you can actually thought your process out before, thought your composition out before you.
Yeah, I guess it's just
Yeah.
it's a different way. Yeah, it's a different way of finding shapes.
Yeah. I mean, it's always good. Like we hear it so often. Like it's all about failing. Fail as much as you can. Maybe you know, your day job. Try to kind of keep it to a reasonable time frame with the failing until you produce something good. But every time you get the chance to try something new, yeah, do it.
So again, Titus is using images found on Google. So basically, just go to Google image search, go for a search higher than 4 megapixels, for example, and then set usage rights to not copyright or something like that, but modifying.
Like you can edit,
then
you can modify it. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can easily pick them. You know, if Google is right, you can easily pick them and just use it straight in your paintings. Sometimes you don't want to care about all of that stuff, because sometimes you will modify the picture to the point where it's not really the picture you took from the internet. So sometimes you don't have to worry about that. But if you want to use a certain structure that's really recognizable, and for example, the photo is like from National Geographic cover, you don't want to use that in your illustration, like a main thing or something.
Yeah. Behind closed door in the studio, all those rules kind of go overboard, because it's all for internal use, obviously. But it's nice if you just kind of get in the habit of using images you can use all the time. It maybe sometimes forces you to paint a bit more, or I don't know. It's good.
Yeah, Flickr is also amazing.
Oh yeah, now that I think, what was it, Yahoo revamped it. It's finally usable again.
Yeah. Exactly.
Used to be terrible. Terrible good.
Yeah, and Titus and me know what Flickr actually really means in our language.
Yeah, we do.
It's a pretty insulting word.
Yeah, it's so yeah, you got to be careful if we explain to relatives. So where'd you get your material? Oh, well.
Flickr. I'd be like, what?
Hang on. Let me explain this. Yeah. So I think, industry-wise, I don't know, Jonas, how much time do you have? I think I get like an average of 2 days maybe per concept, which is pretty nice.
I don't know, it depends. Like, my experience in film, mostly, there's not really a time frame for concept art, because it's even production stuff, I mean, unless something really needs to go out and needs to be built. But usually I get infinite amount of time, and there's more like, it's more like the production designer or the art director sort of have a, how should I say, a vague idea of the speed that you should be working at. So if they ask you something on Monday and you haven't got on anything on Friday, it'll be like, hey dude, what have you been doing all week? But whether I bash it out in 2 hours or 8 hours doesn't really seem to matter, actually. As long as you do it, it's all fine. If you do it faster, then good for you, because either you'll get something new to work on, or they'll just be like, yeah, we don't have anything right now, so you can just twiddle your thumbs a little bit. And then I usually just go online and look up references or do some speed painting or something like that.
I think that should be a good habit for everyone to get into. Look up references. Just, you cannot look at enough stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I was talking about this with some people today. It's so important to build that visual library and to build that curiosity, where you're not just looking for a temple, but if you see an interesting building, you're like, okay, what's it called? Where is it? See if I can find more images and delve as deep into it as you can.
Yeah, I often get lost on Wikipedia. When I'm looking for reference, I end up reading about Second World War and get sidetracked because it's too interesting. Like you find out about some new There's so much amazing stuff in the world. Like you find stuff and like, wow, you know, you couldn't even come up with something that crazy for a game. It's just,
yeah.
But you know, all this knowledge helps to some extent to ground your concepts and stuff.
Yeah, that's if you have a concept that you feel that's grounded in reality, that's the best thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember when I did some stuff years ago for Killzone for the PlayStation Vita. Everything's functional design with them, which is really cool. Everything has to work on functional design. I was looking up so much stuff about metal and girders and bolts and stuff. You got like obsessed with it. It's like people doing designs, you're like, oh, you can't use that. You need to use a 6-point bolt for that with a washer. It's like, what are you talking about? Dude,
and
come on.
Hey guys. At the end, you just end up resigning and going into engineering. Like,
yeah.
Bye.
You kind of know your bolts, man. Isn't it boring? It was at first, but now that I got into it, I don't know, man. It's really interesting. You become that awkward, annoying nerd who just goes like trivia on everything.
Okay, let me pick some questions from the chat. Titus, how many concepts do you averagely need to produce per day?
That really depends on what stage you're in, also kind of what part you're working. They will never say, well, you need to do like 6 concepts a day or you're fired. Luckily. Usually it's for games, you have a bit more time. So you might have a day and a half per painting, but yeah. It kind of varies. I think if you show that you're having good ideas and you're coming up with good ideas, it doesn't really matter how quickly you produce them. It's hard to say what an industry average is. So character artists can do thumbnails. They can do 4 or 5 character thumbnails a day. Maybe environment artists or environment concept artists can come up with 4 black and white sketches, but 1 full painting. You know, it depends.
Can we talk to Titus? That's my real struggle, finding the right brushes. What you can tell about the brushes?
Here we go.
Yeah.
Trick questions. There are no brushes.
It's all an illusion.
It's all an illusion, man.
Right, answered.
About brushes, it's I think the easiest thing to remember is every brush can work, but you don't use one. Maybe I won't be the wrong brush. If you're using with texture brushes, don't use one texture brush for everything. Don't use the texture brush you use for rocks to paint the sky with it. If you keep like a clear language in what texture brush you use for different shapes, then it becomes easier to read for people that way as well.
Yeah, Jamie Jones calls them samesies or something like that. I don't know. He's got
I think that's a good word. Yeah, I think that's a good.
The samesy feel. You don't want the samesies. It's not good.
Yeah.
You want the differences.
Differences.
Yeah, love it. Differences.
Oh, there's a tricky question. What if you don't have access to a lot of photos? What would you do?
Go to CG Textures and support my life.
Flat out resign.
I will cry myself to death.
It's tricky. Most people go like, well, if you paint like this really weird alien thing, then you won't have any ref. No, you won't have direct ref for it, but everything is grounded in our reality. Everything has kind of ref, and if you're inventive with it, you'll find something. But if you don't have access to any photos of any kind, of anything you're supposed to be doing, just tell your superiors to be patient.
Where do you live?
Yeah. Then you're in 90s or something.
And tell everyone above you in the pipeline to be very patient, because it's going to take you a while to paint stuff. It's going to be a while.
But I mean, that's a very unlikely scenario. If you're doing this work, you usually have a computer, otherwise you won't be doing digital painting. And if you have a computer, you'll probably have the internet. And if you're asking this question, it means that you're online, which means you have access to photos.
But maybe the question was more like if you didn't have the right images. I guess maybe. I don't know.
Oh, the right images.
No. It was like any.
Any.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's impossible. There's always well, actually, you know, like if you don't have any images, if you have eyeballs, it means you have images because you can just go outside and study the real world. Like when it comes to color theory and studying lighting and stuff, going outside is actually vital. So
Jonas is actually secretly promoting Google Glass.
Yes.
Just attach the camera to your head and go out.
I'm promoting tons of stuff secretly.
Let's see.
Titus, any tips on painting architecture or learning to get proficient with it?
I think a lot of believable architecture just comes from the fact that if you understand perspective right, so if you really have a solid grasp of perspective, you can start doing some crazy things with architecture, with which will help you make cool images. And the other thing is what we just talked about is if you're super curious in stuff, you will stumble across so many architecture websites and weird architects and strange buildings, and you'll kind of build up your own visual library that way. So it will become easier, just as everything else.
Yeah, I can recommend a website called skyscrapercity.com.
Oh, that's a good
one. You'll end up on this one if you're looking for architecture, but it's basically like a forum where people post pictures. And man, I downloaded thousands of pictures from that forum, and it goes from skyscrapers to modern high-rises to like contemporary architecture to postmodernism. Yeah, I'll paste the link in the
in the chat. I will repost it to an event, so just go ahead.
Right. Same for a website called dzine.com, which is about contemporary, I think, architecture, also interior design. They have some really weird features about, design installations, art installations, temporary architecture, that kind of stuff.
Your painting looks like Korriban, the Star Wars. You know Korriban, that planet?
Love it. Love it. I'll go with that. The new demo, how to paint Korriban.
Put the Sith in there.
I don't know. I'm kind of
Looks good, man. Looks totally good. Actually, I'm going to do that kind of stuff soon. I think, just to loosen up.
It's so much fun.
Yeah. Exactly.
You say that about every technique you see.
Yeah, and I do them, but I cannot show it because it's so fucking lame compared to what the guys are doing on the demos.
Come on, man. You still have to show it. It can't be that lame.
Yeah, even if we just get a laugh out of it, right?
Yeah, that's do it for the community.
Man, I always feel so inspired after we do like that kind of an event, and then I just go when I have some free time, try to explore and apply the knowledge that I got from I don't know. I remember watching James later on because I couldn't participate in the session, and he was showing all these amazing tricks with like blending modes, clipping masks, like inverting color those layers, and which were really kind of cool. And I explored that. And, yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. So guys, you finally realized we're not doing this because we want to help the community. We just want to steal techniques from all the pros.
Exactly, man.
That's the truth. Sorry.
Yeah, stealing. Like, this is what concept art is all about.
Yeah. Stealing smart.
Stealing smart, yeah. You need that word in there.
Yeah, let's
Titus, there is a question to you. How long have you been living on Earth?
On Earth? In human years? I don't know. So the question is, how old am I? I'm 27. I'm turning 28 this year.
All right.
I'm nearing 30. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, man.
Time is the fire in which we burn. That's what I'm telling you.
I don't really like getting burnt.
Yeah, well,
it's a painful. It's a painful
Get used
thing.
to it.
Another question: why does the artist flip the canvas?
To keep a fresh eye on things, right? No, actually, you do it because it looks cool. Like everyone, like all the cool kids, we all do it.
Hit that flip canvas and just, you know.
I have no idea. I saw someone do it, and then it just shows mistakes. Like that, you'll always make stupid mistakes, and by flipping it, you'll see them. Hopefully.
Yep, and sometimes even flipping vertically helps as well. Like I've had mistakes that I couldn't see in a horizontal flip, but in a vertical flip I could see them.
I was just doing it at that time, and it was perfect. It's like.
Yeah, because composition should work, I think, should work in an abstract way. Like, to be interesting, like, close, you know, just lead the eye in a certain way that is abstract.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
It should always work. Same for translating it back to grayscale.
True.
Just checking things out.
I don't want to get in political with that, but we have some questions about draw crowd.
Draw crowd. I knew it.
Yeah.
That was unavoidable.
Yeah, we may just not talk about it.
But that's not why we're here, so I think we should ignore those questions. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, no comment from me on that.
Alright, another cool one. When choosing photos, do you look for a consistent lighting, flat lighting, or do you find it doesn't matter as you can manipulate it?
I think that'd be kind of futile trying that, because it's just so hard to find.
Yeah, my personal experience with looking for photos is it depends. If you're doing purely texturing, then you should look for a flatly lit picture because you're just doing like the material, applying the material. So that's when you want to go to websites like, CG Textures or other texture websites where you find like, stuff that 3D artists use, which has zero lighting, which is just flat out. But if you're photo bashing and you want, the light in your photo to be used in your concept, if that makes sense, then you actually want to look for something that's lit interestingly. For example, let's say that you have a tree, that you're painting a tree. Then, for example, the texture of the actual bark or the trunk, you would probably want to use a flat photo for that. But maybe let's say that you have a picture of a root that's nicely lit from the back, then you want to use a picture that's lit interestingly. And then you can bash that in and you can use that lighting. But the important thing to remember is when you're using lit pictures that have sunlight or other strong light sources, is that they have to match the light source in your image, otherwise it's just not going to look right. Even if you mess around with it, it's really hard. That's something that matte painters have a lot of trouble with, I think, finding the exactly right lit image.
Yeah.
But pure texturing, just use flat photos.
Yeah, sometimes you don't have a lot of choice. I think for concept, especially for like game concept, it doesn't really matter too much. Because you can be quite rough. There can be like loads of mistakes in there, which you'll just fix later on.
Yeah, you'll probably just end up darkening the image to get rid of highlights and then painting over it.
Yeah, exactly.
That does a trick.
It'll be a bit messy, but then the concepts are rarely ever presented on something bigger than screen res. So that's why I'm painting. Like, most people like zoom in and out to make sure the quality is all right for like print. I just never bother with that at all because it's all screen.
Yeah, plus when a client's going to be looking at it, he's going to actually stand, a certain distance from the image. So he's only going to be seeing the overall composition and shapes and stuff. He's not going to be looking at, how many cityscapes you photo bashed in there. Like, you can't even see that. As long as the overall image is working, then you're probably good.
Yep. Exactly. So I'm just kind of getting bogged down.
There's another tricky question. What is the point of this live stream if you're going to ignore questions?
Are we ignoring questions? I thought we were answering questions.
We're answering the right questions.
Yeah.
This is about painting, not politics.
Exactly.
That's
fucking why. So let's choose another one. If you are completely new to the concept art, what are are the skills that you should work on first? Like fundamentals, right?
Yeah, it's always fundamentals.
Getting like fluent with your medium, that is your tablet, and just draw and paint.
Yeah, fundamentals are just most important to start with, even if you are just going to some just techniques with like photo bashing and all that stuff without fundamentals or good eye or trained eye, and just made some pictures before you start, you are not able to do that kind of stuff just quickly and accurately. So that's the point to just it's not like some people are on the chat just writing the things like you don't need to fundamentals to start photo, but it's not true. It's not true. No. You have to be trained. You have to have a lot of experience. It's not easy to just match everything to just fit into the scene. So that's why I regret. Not regret. I don't agree with that statements.
I would even say photo bashing is a more advanced technique because
yes, exactly.
You actually need more fundamental knowledge to be able to manipulate a photo into something that works. Because if you don't have that knowledge, you tend to be stuck by the information and the design that's already in the photo, and it's going to limit you in your exploration of ideas and just like trying to get in. You'll just stick to the photo and you won't know how to turn it into anything interesting if you don't know how to apply those fundamentals to it.
Yeah, I would go back to the previous question with that photos, references, researching. It's also, just researching is also kind of thing that needs some experience. Find a good reference to start photo bashing.
Yeah.
And all that things, because you can just, search something and you are not able to do with that anything. And you have the idea in your head and you have to find a good reference to start with. And after you have some experience, you can do something with even a bit worse photos and worse stuff you have prepared. So that's the tricky, and that's all depends on the time you are doing it and your fast how fast are you able to do your task.
Yeah.
Also, I've noticed we have some problems with people that are from Germany. They cannot join a stream from, I don't know why, I don't know the reasons. There are probably some politics, including copyrights. I have no idea why. We are not preventing German people to join our stream. So
Scheiße.
Basically just
Nine.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. When I lived in Germany, I found that I couldn't access a lot of stuff on YouTube. It's like, I think it's you probably get like a GEMA or something notice, which is like a copyright company in Germany that sort of like audits all this kind of stuff. So we'll have to look into that. But I think someone posted, I posted a link to this event on my Facebook page, and I think someone posted an unlock link. So if you guys are from Germany, well, they're probably not seeing it because they're not able to look at it. So if you're watching this later and you're from Germany, go to my Facebook page and look at the link to this event that I posted. And someone posted a link to an unlock site that will, I guess you could probably use something like Hide My Ass or another proxy or VPN or something like that. It just basically just changes where the where your server, your internet provider thinks that you're accessing the website from. That's what you have to do. So look into proxies or VPNs or something like that. Why are you laughing?
Someone wrote, "Damn Hitler."
What?
We are getting political again.
Yeah, it's just joking.
All right.
Go ahead, guys.
So you are changing a lot right now. I've seen you had like pretty established composition, but then you changed like the whole wall. Is it because you have more time, or just because you didn't like it?
I didn't like it. Usually sometimes you're stuck with time constraint, but when you're really not happy about something, you shouldn't hand it in, even though you kind of go over the deadline. You just say, I need a little bit more time, and I think we have some more time. So it's like, yeah, I can make this more. I can make this more interesting. If I just keep working, I'll probably get a better idea. Maybe some cool. I don't know. Just kind of looking for a shape language that works. Like I like the big triangle shapes, but seeing how I can incorporate that in the foreground a bit more. Like repeating shapes is super important, so help make everything read. If people have any questions about the more game industry and stuff, I'd be happy to answer. I don't know. There used to be this huge misconception about how the game industry worked, so I don't know. That still lives.
What kind of misconceptions do you mean?
Oh, you know, about the use of photograph and what art directors expect, and you know, the whole pipeline and that kind of stuff.
I think that happens everywhere. Everywhere where there's time constraints and people are worried about money. Which is the whole world, actually.
Which is everywhere, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a cool question. Could you discuss the major differences in the expectations put to concept artists versus illustrators?
In my experience, illustrators are there to make a very good-looking picture. They have a brief and they need to make everything look super shiny and finished. And concept artists, they're there to convey a mood, to convey an idea. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's also there's more responsibility in terms of designing. When you're a concept artist, you know, the artist and designer line is pretty vague sometimes. I mean, like the stuff that Titus doing, which is pure mood setting, there's not that much design, even though, you know, the stuff that he could be doing right now might actually influence the entire design of that scene or that setting in the game. But concept artists also end up doing, you know, character stuff or weapons or props, and that's more of a design job than an illustrator job, because it's not really about the beautiful rendering. You'll see ugly pictures a lot in productions. Like I've seen some really ugly drawings in film production, but the designs are good, but the pictures are ugly, and the final product looks great because the design is there, and that's all.
Yeah. So let's say a concept artist designs the character, and then the illustrator takes the design, not an actual picture, but the design, the way the costume looks like, the way the weapon looks, and he just takes it to another level for example, for advertisement and for marketing and image.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a rendering job. It's really like being able to render really good. That's what illustrators do mostly.
Yeah, like I could easily.
It's about beauty.
Take this image that I have now and go like to an art director and say, this is kind of the mood that you want for this shot. And we can get a very quick yes, no. And if it's like, oh yeah, then done.
It's cool when these two overlaps. It's cool when your concept art is beautiful. I mean, look at, I don't know, Jamie Jones, for example. It can overlap. It's not purely an illustrator.
Oh, it does overlap. I mean, if you're a concept artist, you are an illustrator. You're still drawing
exactly,
and painting.
Yeah, you are still depicting your ideas.
I think it's more of an industry thing where people need to separate everything, you know, like they need to put everything into boxes because we live in a bureaucratic world, and if you don't put stuff in boxes, then whoever's doing paperwork is going to get too confused, and they'll be like, oh, but I thought you were this. So, you know, but in the end, it's all sort of overlapping, you know, like concept artists are illustrators, and illustrators probably are concept artists at some point. I mean, if an illustrator is designing a comic book or doing a comic book, he's actually designing a lot of stuff and concepting a lot of stuff, and it all sort of intermingles anyway, you know, like there's no reason to really define yourself as one thing only and say like, okay, no, I'm only doing that. I'm an illustrator. Don't ask me to do concept art. I mean, that's pointless. I mean, basically, just
I have a pretty cool question to Titus. If you can be either Godzilla or a billionaire, which one you would be?
If I did be Godzilla or a billionaire?
Godzilla, yeah.
Fuck Godzilla, man. What do I need money for if I can tear shit up?
Okay. So
I like that question. It's a good one. It's
the best
blow
one.
Shit up. Yeah. God. Post-apocalyptic is the coolest stuff anyway. Everyone knows this.
Yeah.
There's two ingredients. It's a good concept. It's a good concept if it's post-apocalyptic and has birds, or has birds. That's it. That's all you need.
You've been talking to John Woo, haven't you? Yeah, I used to do a lot of post-apocalyptic stuff. Now I'm sort of exploring different areas. I think me and Titus are on like different dimensions in how we explore our stuff. But it's very interesting to see like how you sort of phase through these themes and stuff.
Yeah.
I think the best part about post-apocalyptic stuff is that you can just completely forget about perspective. You can say like, no, that building's not our perspective. It's just someone blew up the foundations of it, and it's just all wonky and sideways now.
It's falling over, dude.
Yeah, it's falling over.
A lot of it is influenced by the type of production plates you do. So I guess I haven't done a lot of apocalyptic paintings or anything during that, like in my concept work. So you tend to do that a lot. But now that my concept work for the Division obviously is becoming a lot more in that genre, when I'm at home working, I'm much more attracted to very abstract things. You work much more abstract, which is kind of funny, and yeah, it changes.
I think that's good that you're just exploring different stuff. It makes you, versatile.
Yeah, definitely.
So, are you guys doing overpaints, or do you have anything to maybe show or talk about, so we can give Titus a little bit of a break?
Yeah, you can switch the screen.
I'm doing an overpaint, yeah.
Yeah, me too. But it's
just anything that you can talk about? I don't know, Jonas.
Yeah, I mean, I'm working a little bit slow because I'm actually watching Titus paint as well.
Yeah, me too. So maybe just more 10 minutes.
Okay, sure.
No, I can show mine now. I've got something that's actually already really good. I'm just doing small adjustments. So we can switch to my screen if you want.
There you go.
Let me just do the share.
Where's your vodka in the background?
Man.
You ran out of
gone, man. I drank it last night.
He drank it already.
Yeah.
He still keep it.
Yeah. I cut my finger, and so I had to use like alcohol to disinfect it. So
like
I wasted. Bottle? No, like leftovers, like one shot.
Okay. One shot for one finger.
Yeah. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Oh shite, man! This is higher res than usual.
This is, yes, I'm on a new machine, so I'm actually working in HD now. So this is the concept. Yeah, no more semi-HD for me. No more HD ready. So this is a concept from, well, I don't know who it is from, so I should probably not start that sentence. Okay. Anyway, it's really nice. It's like it's a street somewhere in China. I love this kind of stuff. This is the stuff that I started out doing when I first got into concept art. I started concept art back in 2009, and shortly after that I was in Hong Kong for a while, and like it inspired me for the first 2 years, like all the time. So I love this kind of scenery, and the guy here has done a really good job doing like composition, incorporating textures and stuff like that. It looks very good, but the only problem with it is that it's a little bit too dark and too dim in terms of lighting. So if we just forget about, if we just look from far, the read's not that well. So I think there could be a little bit more interesting lighting in here. So in my overpaint, I'm basically introducing a little bit of sunlight that's spilling in. I know it changes the mood, like I don't know if this was supposed to be a night scene or not, I'm not very sure. But I think it's interesting to have like some highlights here and there to show a little bit more depth and variety and value. So if you look here in black and white, you can see there's not that much value separation except for in the middle, and now we've got a little bit more and a little extra focal point on the side. So yeah, that's basically what I've been doing, and also playing around with illumination, bouncing lights and having surfaces that are actually lit from light sources. It's always nice to just sort of see, like, put little accents there, so you get some more color variety. I guess this pink light would cast some light over here as well. Just do little things like that. But actually the original painting was already very good, so I don't think I improved it that much. So yeah, congrats on you, whoever made this. It's very nice. Back to you, Wojtek.
Back to Titus.
Or back
Nice.
to Titus, yeah.
Oh man, I'm just this left thing, this left wall is kicking my ass. Sometimes it'll happen. You just get so stuck on one thing. You're like, come on, do something. Work with me here. Just give me something cool I can do. You try tons of different things out, and it's not really cooperating.
So you're talking to your photos.
Just yeah. Well, you'll end up talking to your pictures all the time. Like, come on, work with me, dude. Why are you just being such an asshole? I could give everything and just take.
I give you my time.
Time.
Give you my life.
And sometimes, actually, I'll try that now. I haven't even done any composition checks or viewfinder checks or whatever. I'll just make a quick. I should have all of this stuff automated, but I haven't.
What do you mean by what are you doing right now?
So I'm thumbnailing it up. We're going back to thumbnail, so zoom all the way out. So apologies if you can't see anything right now. But I'm just looking for maybe like a painting within a painting. You know, I'm looking where my detail is, where my interesting stuff is, to see if I can, kind of salvage it. Maybe get a better image out of it than I had before. And zooming it out and turning it into grayscale as well. I don't know what my grayscale layer went. My layers are a mess. That was a mess. This kind of helps. It helps seeing. So I think this. Yeah, this is a better.
You need my custom panel. That's what you need.
Maybe you will release it already.
No, I'm not releasing it yet, guys. Sorry, but I'm really trying to make it as awesome as possible, and it's actually a lot of work. You might not think so, but it's actually really a lot of work, and I can't really put that many hours into it every day. But Sergey's helping me now with scripting, and he changed the script of the value check button, and now it's just a single button that will toggle it on or off, and it's not using actions at all. It's just a script. And you don't have to worry about finding that layer or reselecting the layer you were working on. Like, you just press the button and it will go from black and white to color or back.
You'll get hired by Adobe, you know.
That will save me so much time. It's crazy. Yeah, I don't even.
Yeah, I will send it to you, and you can, copy paste it into your own panel then.
Looking for all that stuff, because that's what happens. If you're really into your flow, you don't manage your layers, you don't name anything, you don't group anything, you just copy paste stuff in. You're like, where the fuck? Like 25 layers toggled off. What does it even do?
And you definitely don't want to do that in a production pipeline where you might have to give your files to someone else.
Yeah.
I was working on a film 2 years ago, and there's a guy called Simon Merton who's like a concept artist who's been around for a long time. He's like from the days of Sid Mead and stuff. He's really great. But when he works in Photoshop, he put everything on a separate layer, like even a tiny little brush stroke he would put on a separate layer. And then at one point I got a file from him and I had to do something with it, and it was literally like 300 layers, just like it's like an explosion of stuff, and I couldn't find anything anywhere. And if I tried to collapse stuff, then the blending modes would get screwed up, and these black strokes would appear everywhere. So it took me more hours to actually clean up the file than to do the overpaint of the concept.
Yeah, that's terrible. Why you say, yeah, dude, you better not. It's just,
if you work with other people, please name your stuff and put your stuff in folders. Do it like a pro.
Yeah, I can only get away with this stuff so much. After a while, you go like, okay, I gotta clean stuff. Usually that's where lunch breaks go.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
No,
I didn't pay attention. Yeah. No.
Oh, lunch breaks, they're good.
Yeah,
I wonder if it's sad. So, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I wonder if it's sad if you actually spend half of your lunch break still sitting in front of your computer painting, even though you're actually already doing that all day, instead of like going out into the sun. I mean, like, I go out during my lunch break, but yeah, like, I do quite a lot of lunch break painting.
Yeah, and you pause it, just a quick lunch break, and
yeah, just quick lunch.
Well, I have
to.
Well, I have to post it before the lunch break is over, because otherwise I'm actually not supposed to be on Facebook. So.
Oh, that's how they get you.
Yeah, they'd be logging my activity, man.
Oh wow. Yeah, no, I'm glad I can still like be on Facebook and stuff. Like Massive is such a relaxing place to work. It's super. The atmosphere is just fantastic. So it's been really good.
So you're going for a pretty cinematic aspect ratio, right?
Yeah. That's what
Is
I love.
it because you like that kind of a ratio, or is it more like epic to you, or why are you choosing that kind of a ratio?
Can I answer that question?
Yeah, go, please.
Well, I know this is a question for you. I don't want to interrupt you, but what I think, and this is just me basically, stroking your ego. I think that because you often use cinematic ratios and you often use the same techniques or sort of like mood styles, you have very recognizable work, and I feel like there's a lot of consistency in your portfolio, which is really nice. So like I think you're one of those artists that I can recognize a piece from right off the bat, and I miss that with a lot of other artists who are very good, but their stuff is more generic, and I can't really tell if it's theirs or someone else maybe. But with you, I know. Or wait, maybe it's just your signature.
Oh man, I was feeling so good. I was feeling.
No. But I actually mean what I say. I think it's good, like how you've developed your style and your feel over the last few years, and it's instantly recognizable, your style, which is really nice. I like that when you.
Thanks, I appreciate it. It's funny that you say that, because I think it was you that we're talking to about this a while back, and it's a question I hear a lot of times, like, how do I get my own style? And I think everyone is worried about how do I get my own style. I'm worried right now, how do I get my own style? And it just kind of happens.
It happens. It always happens, even if you don't want to. Like, even if you copy someone else, you're still applying your own style. But there's a difference between style and style. There's the deliberate style, and that's what I'm talking about. And then there's the not deliberate style, which is just like how you do brushstrokes and stuff like that. It's something that's a little bit out of your out of your own control. But you can choose certain, and these things are more thematically or technically, like in terms of lighting or types of compositions or stuff like that define your style as well. If you look at Kekai's stuff, his stuff is very recognizable because there's always stuff that comes back. Like he'll put very large things against very small things, and he's always got epic scale, and people see this is scale, and they go like, okay, that's a Kekai painting, or his way of rendering is very specific. But then there's tons of artists out there that you see this stuff and you're like, great, but who is this person? Oh, okay, this person did it. But if the other person did it, you wouldn't really know, because they've got a very similar way of doing stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just keep failing. Keep your errors in there. That's the fun part. Keep your mistakes in your paintings.
Yeah.
There's a certain charm to. There's loads of painters I look up to and go like, oh my god, that's so cool. And how would they reach it? Usually when you think there's a magic trick involved, there isn't. Well, obviously there never is. But it's something simple like, why does this look so painterly? Well, maybe because it's painted. Why does this look like such a it's always such a really cool mess? It looks so messy. Well, it's because they never clean up their mistakes. They just leave everything in there. That's why. And it's just having to do with how people approach their workflow. It's just,
yeah, and sometimes cleaning up your mistakes actually ruins your painting.
Yeah, I had this
some
suggested.
Stuff is alright. Yeah.
I didn't really know what the detail was, but if I take it out, it looks shit. If I define it looks shit.
Yeah, no, that's really true. I find that frustrating, because sometimes I'm like, okay, I need to refine this bit a little bit, and then I look back at previous versions and I'm like, nah, actually, it not making any sense looked better, so I'll just go back to the old version.
Yep. Implied stuff. That is so important, especially when you're working with screen-size images that you present to people. Every time you can imply something, it'll probably look cooler than when you paint it.
Yeah.
When you print it off and you hold it in front of your face, it probably looks terrible, but And you never want to have the art director say, "What's this again?" Like, shit. As soon as you need to explain yourself explicitly to what things are, you're probably doing it wrong. But like, right up until that point, man, it's this fine margin of awesome implied detail.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm also trying to convey in my work. Like, amount of painterliness that is enough to imply details. Just enough, you know, and not going any further. Because I'm still, like, loving all the brush strokes that you can, you know, it's some sort of an expression in your work that conveys energy and certain force that you can, you know, talk to people and.
Yeah, it's the brushstrokes that make the painting, I think. See, but I started out with a photo bash, and this is how it usually goes with paintings, like in the studio as well. If I can be a bit more loose with it, obviously when I'm stuck to something super specific, I can't. And it's pretty much like all gone. It's all just random shit now.
That's random, really cool.
Let's do something about that, man. Let's bring back the pictures. Fuck it. Let's overlay some shit again. How are we doing on time? I'm losing track of time.
Just 1 hour.
We're about an hour in, yeah.
Yeah, Darek, can you show us
I just wanted to ask you if you can share the screen to mine.
Yeah. Just don't drink
for a minute.
Show us your vodka first. You're sitting in a dark.
Mine already.
Yeah. No way.
It's pretty empty, man.
It's pretty empty.
Okay, enough. Just. It was the painting of Errol Matita, and he just sent me over it personally, so asking me for doing painting over for him, and I really like the colors in it because it was a bit of mysterious, but it wasn't that dark as I usually do paint overs. So I just left the colors, even enlightened them a bit, and what I just made on it is just cleaning up the silhouettes and overall shapes, because the light was always curved in kind of, I don't know, white line, and it just gave kind of cartoony, but not that clean feeling. So I made quick corrections with just selecting tool and made overall shapes with just selections, and fill them with gradient, still keeping the same colors. And I just think that I would add these columns yet, because they give pretty good idea about design of the picture, because on my version is still empty with the design. But what I made is also giving some shadows to create on the perspective kind of sticks they are around there. I don't know what is it. It was kind of swords previously, but I left them with kind of, I don't know, design symbols, and just make it a bit cleaner, but it's still unfinished, so I will put it further maybe a bit with defining these columns, which were pretty fine. And also what I don't understand on this kind of in the background is huge solid thing which looks like a temple in the background, but it's kind of destroyed or something. It's not natural way, and it looks pretty inconsistent with overall composition. So I made it as a whole, and just left the same color subject, the same color same, and I think it's just needs some push further with the details. But overall idea was pretty nice, and I really liked the picture before, but I decided to make it a bit more cleaner. So.
Yeah. Can I just give a tip to people who are painting rocks and stuff? Darek, can you switch back to the original painting?
Sure.
Okay, so this is a mistake that I often see. So this person here is lighting the rocks, right? And he's like, okay, the sun's in front of me, so things have a rim light, so I'm just going to paint a rim light on all these rocks. But like Darek said, it looks cartoony. It's not working. Why is that? Because that's not how a rim light works. You go outside, you know, when the sun's low in the sky, like in the evening. It's winter time now, so that's perfect. And study the rim light and look at the sun and look at the elements around you in the city or a forest, wherever you are, and look how rim light actually hits objects. You normally only have, or you have the strongest rim light when the object that is being lit is on a vertical line with the sun. So if there's an object right in front of you and the sun's right above it, that's going to have a very literal rim light, like the way that it's painted here. But the rocks that are on the left side and on the right side will never have a rim light like that because they don't have sharp edges. They're rounded shapes. So you need to light those differently. Definitely.
Yeah, sorry for interrupting. It just
no, go ahead.
It just destroy overall solid of the rocks. If we just start some kind of shape of the rock, and if I make it, let's just think it's on the foreground maybe, and if I make like it was here with just pretty huge amount of light, which is pretty strong, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't fit the wall as a solid, so it doesn't have the light react on the solids. Don't forget, if the things are, even if they are shaded, they have some kind of just gradations with values, and they can be bounced back with light from just the sky, and the lighting hit the rock pretty slightly, and it just outline the curves in some areas, not overall, because it will flatten you the picture and flatten you the structure. So as Jonas said, if the light hit the curve, it can be something like this. The curve still remains pretty solid, and the light just hits kind of curvy areas with just leaving some color gradations and color iterations. But it just cannot be that visible with that light put on overall the shape, because it flattened the picture automatically and it's ruined everything.
Yeah, can you switch to my screen? I'm going to try to demonstrate something about this whole rim lighting thing. I think it will be useful for people to
it's already on your screen.
See. Okay. So
I will be right back.
Okay.
Okay. So if you have a sphere, let's say that we've got a sphere. I'm just quickly going to paint a sphere here. So this is a sphere, right? And our light source is here, here. Then what this person did that's wrong, so let me just create a clipping mask. This person thinks, okay, so the light source is here, and so I can see it, so I'm in front of it, so it's backlit. So I get a rim light here, and I probably get the reflection of the light here. That is incorrect. That is not how light works, actually. The reflection of the light will be on the curved surface, so the reflection of the light will actually be here, over here, and not on the edge. And that is because when you are looking at an object, so let me just get a brush. If you're looking at an object and you have a light source here, and you have the viewer here, just I'll put him at here. Oh, that's ugly.
Love it. Love everything about it.
Yeah. So yeah. So the light's hitting here, but what you're seeing is actually the reflection of the light, as the light being bounced. You're not seeing the specular highlight here. You're actually seeing the specular highlight here because the ray is bouncing like that and hitting your eye like that. It's not hitting it like this from this direction. The easiest way to understand this is if you look at a lake or at the sea, and you see the sun reflecting. No matter where you move, it seems like the reflection is always moving with you, you know, and it always seems to be in a perfect relation with you. That's because of the way that the light rays that you're receiving is only from a certain angle. You're not receiving light rays from every single direction to you. It's only the ones that are bouncing off like that. And that's the problem that the person had with the rock, is that he was lighting it like this, if it would be lit like this, but it's not like that. It would actually be lit on the curved surfaces, more like that. And you would not get a perfect rim light. If there was a rock right here, then you would get a perfect rim light, because you're here, you're looking like that, and this is the way that the light bounces. I hope that makes sense, because this is like a super crappy drawing, and I'm not explaining it scientifically, but you can see in the image that Darek showed that those rim lights they didn't work. It just looked wrong, and this is the gist of why that happens.
Yeah, and rim lights has even added effects like James Garney wrote in his book about color corona. You probably know this, Jonas, and we talked about it in the previous sessions about the colors. So it was, you know, just kind of the thing that exists in when the sun hit the curves and the horizon. So it just reflects the curves somehow, but it's not that, you know, just that strong line like it was on the painting that we seen. So
yeah.
Okay.
So I hope that person learned something from it.
Me too.
All right, Titus, we are on your screen right now. So you have widened the composition, right? A little.
Yeah, I clipped some stuff from the top off. It wasn't
more cinematic, please.
I usually don't work in this much of a cinematic screen, but I thought it's fine. It's fine. It works. It kind of works. I was just checking things in my composition as well, where I want things to go. So I need. So this is another thing that I do. I check where all my stuff is going, where I want people to look, and if it's not working that way, I just gotta paint it in. So I merged some stuff out, and I need some point of interest right here, which is what I'm gonna do. There needs to be some sort of visual noise going on right there. It's nice because it's right in that highlight pool. It's a very cheesy kind of composition thing to have dark foreground and a highlight kicking in like this, but it works. It works. So we're just bouncing the eye off this thing that I'm putting in there now, so you can comfortably go back into the middle of the painting right there, which is where some interesting shapes are happening.
Titus, when you will feel like you are done with the piece, don't hesitate to just tell me, and we can switch to overpaints. I'm not trying to rush with things, just for you to know that still we have plenty of time, but if you feel like you're done, just go ahead and tell me, and we can just pick a work from the group.
Yeah.
What?
I can also pick up another painting to overpaint. So
okay.
if there will be any progress,
let Titus work for.
Sure, man. Sure.
His work. All right, and guys, I'm really happy that the whole idea with Level Up is turning that good, you know, because we
are growing, man.
Yeah, we are growing pretty fast. The group has already like almost 7,000 members, and every week we have up to 700 viewers on YouTube on a live event, which is just plenty of people for idea that young. And I think we have some cool news coming, and that's really good. And pretty awesome guests for the upcoming sessions. And it will always be free for your consideration. It will always be like it is now. Yeah, funny. Maybe sometimes more professional, or not. We will see. But
okay, sometimes.
Yeah, depends.
It should be fun as well, man. All that tech talk's boring. You should be able to laugh at each other a little bit.
Yeah.
We're all friends.
That's what
we don't like to be stiff. We don't like to be that stiff. We are serious, but we are funny. We try to be serious.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not very stiff, Darek.
Yeah, man.
You're stiff at the gym, you know?
Yeah. You know something that, Wojtek, yeah?
Yeah, man. I'm also pretty stiff at the gym.
Yeah. Okay, there is some question that is also every time asked. Any specific source for lighting or kind of reference is we always recommend the book from James Garney, Practical Lighting Color. There is everything in the one place, so you have to buy it. And it's,
for composition or for what?
For lighting.
For lighting.
Lighting.
Yeah, and the question, it was question about me. Why am I always in the dark room? I'm living in the cave and sitting with the candles. So that's fine.
Yeah, that's how the Poland looks like nowadays.
It's pretty funny because when Wojtek met me last time, which we wanted to make something with the level up stuff, and he just came for me and my energy was down, so we just sit with candles and it was pretty romantic.
Like medieval times.
So yeah, Derek's not in the dark because he's a creep. He's just really romantic and likes a moody romantic environment. So.
Yeah, like paint the speed paint in the light of a candle.
Yes.
It's perfect.
The hope was romantic.
Like the candle is burning only for 30 minutes, right? So he has like this 30, so he has these 30 minutes candles, you know. So he just light them up.
Someone starts selling those. Oh, I'd be all over that.
Good one, Wojtek.
Lit the candle on your desk and just watch it burn. Your time flies. Yeah, man, that's a cool idea. 30-minute candles.
That's actually very cool. I like that.
We have to try it. I have to try it, definitely.
Yeah, start selling those. You'll be rich, man.
Okay, well, I'm pretty much done with this image. Not getting more out of it than I thought. So, what was
awesome.
We can do like an overpaint, or I can show the other technique, whichever people want, I guess.
Alright, so we have two paths that we can choose from, which is overpaint or new technique, right?
Yeah.
Another technique. So guys, just let us know in the comments what do you want to see. Let's wait for those a bit, and you know what? Maybe you can just take that image and post it to the event page right now, so people will be able to see it in better res.
Let's see. I'll post it in full res.
Full res.
In full res. In full Facebook res.
Full Facebook.
In full Facebook res.
In awesome red compression res. Right.
What was it again? 920, right? 920. Ooh.
Nice. Yeah, alright, people are voting for a new technique from what I can see. Let's wait just a bit.
Yep, technique, no overpaints.
It's
Technique.
Okay, it's clearly new technique.
It'll be the super true concept art technique. Holy shit, everything's lagging out. Come on. I don't know why everything's lagging.
No worries, man. It always happens when you are broadcasting. Everything fails.
Everything fails. Okay, add photo and video. Come on. Upload photos. It's like coming at you live, guys. It could not be any more live than this.
I don't give a fly fudge thing about other thing. New technique, please.
Wow.
Morgan Freeman says new technique.
Both
Okay.
have more vodka.
Okay, Morgan Freeman, we have to listen to him.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman.
I can only hear it in his voice now. That's it. I can only hear it in his voice.
Yes.
Terrible.
Titus, please. Just new technique.
It's posted, man. The thing is up. The image is up.
Snap.
Oh snap! Here we go.
Oh
Okay,
snap!
so
Fingers up.
let's revert that back to normal. Click this thing. Click this thing.
Just for you to know, Morgan Freeman is watching.
Well, I feel relatively pressured now.
I just realized a problem with Level Up.
Yeah.
A big problem. Because I'm looking on the Level Up page for another overpainting to do, and I just realized that people are actually really starting to level up, and it's becoming harder and harder to pick stuff because everything's so damn good. So there's going to be a point where we're going to have to stop doing overpaints because every piece on the page is going to be a masterpiece.
We just have to get better, man.
Yeah.
So what we will do? Drink a bit or so?
See what we have to put up with? It's like every time. It's like
drinking again.
We will just
like a weird show with old bearded.
We will just meet on Google Hangout and stream it while we are drinking.
Yeah, we can just start talking about drinking games, right? I know a good one. You take this one is from Gavril. You take a bottle of vodka, you go to the top of a building, or you go with 2 people, each a bottle of vodka, you get into the elevator, and then you put the bottom floor, press the bottom floor button, and whoever can drink the most vodka in one go till you reach the bottom floor wins. And passes out, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't want to get into that elevator after the party's over,
Oh no, this is the beginning of the party. This is how you get fucked.
Should you do it like go up to the party? Let's see.
Alright, so maybe let's talk about what you are doing right now. So again, just placing photos.
Yeah, this is definitely more the kind of like matte painting technique, and this is the kind of thing that I do at work when I have little time, or just not a lot of time to create an image. So you kind of go in this hyper mode, I guess. And you'll see, because it's my 3rd or 4th image I'm doing today, this one will be the one who fails miserably.
Oh,
don't jinx it, man. It's gonna be good.
So what the hell are you doing?
I am putting an image in. So the idea that I have for this one is that we're in some sort of tomb, right? We're in this underground scary tomb, like in Lord of the Rings with the Army of the Dead. So remember that scene?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to convey.
What's Lord of the Rings?
When your brain isn't destroyed by alcohol. Familiar with these pop culture things.
Completely sober, man.
So yeah, we're just trying to convey that kind of mood. So we're looking for a lot of noise. I think that's mostly the key. We're looking for a lot of noise, visual noise in exactly the right places. The fact that there are trees underground now doesn't really matter yet. I'll deal with that later. Actually, no, I'll deal with that right now. I'm done with trees. So the idea here is that you kind of get your noise up really quick and your composition up really quick, and then you start color balancing everything. So let's see. I think that all of this would have worked so much better if I had a Red Bull. It's like just saying.
You're a Red Bull.
Man, don't talk to me about Red Bull. I have bad experiences with that.
Everyone has. I don't think you're a concept artist unless you had like night terrors because you drank too much.
Yeah, and the problem with Red Bull is it also like sort of eases your bowel movements.
Oh
if you have
yeah.
Too much of it.
Yeah.
So it becomes very unpleasant to go to the bathroom if you have like 100 Red Bulls.
Yeah. It becomes easy though.
Yeah, actually it becomes easier. But not for you. It's very unpleasant for your ears, that's what I meant. For the people that you're sharing a house with.
Yeah. But everyone heard it here first. If you want to level up your toilet skills, drink shitloads of Red Bull. So quiet. Why is it so quiet?
I'm trying to look for an image on the level up group. Too much good stuff.
So, Titus, do you have just a complete idea what you will be doing?
No, I have a like a mood, a very specific mood in mind, which I'm trying to hit. Which comes along with a certain composition. Like a more claustrophobic composition, so I'm using a lot of verticals to see if I can reinforce that a little bit. And thinking about light and dark relatively quickly. So this is a process where I balance my photo. Usually I use tons of like correction layers, so I have maximum flexibility. So if someone says, "Oh, could you kind of brighten that?" I'm like, "No, because I did it right on the layer, and that's kind of silly." But for this purpose, I'm winging it a little bit more. Come on.
There's some really amazing stuff on the Level Up group. Oh my god. Like guys, people are really starting to post really good stuff. It's really nice.
Yeah, we should close the group. And just put a sign. You have
completed,
already
goodbye.
leveled up. Go to hell.
Yeah, success. Done.
Thanks for stealing our jobs, assholes.
Join us next week for a demo on how to make bread.
Yeah. No, I want to get into gardening. I think I've mentioned it before. I think I'm going to talk about how to grow your own herbs.
Hardcore herb gardening. Heard it here first. Unless then everyone starts to do herb gardening. Fuck. Guys.
Yeah.
Oh, we have already hit 7,000 members. So
celebrate!
Nice.
Yeah,
Non-stop.
Yeah, guys, 7,000 is a lot.
Yeah, you guys are doing really well. It's so cool.
Yeah, we're growing quickly. It's nice. It's good to see. And also, please, people who are watching, help each other out. Like the great stuff about Level, because we don't have time to comment to all the images that are being posted. But it's really cool to see if you actually, comment on other people's work, and if you have more knowledge than them, like put your input, tell them what they could do. I've seen people doing overpaints as well and posting them in the comment section. That's really, really nice. So that's just a way of helping everyone out. It's just good. So please continue to do that.
Yeah, because Level Up is not only doing these weekly streams. It's about the community we are building on the Facebook group. So if you don't know that, just go to Facebook and type in Level Up and see all the awesome artwork, contribute. I don't know, post your art, talk to people. I bet there's plenty of stuff that you can benefit from.
I remember a few years back, I guess the people who've been around for longer, let's say been around for more than 3 years, remember the really, really hostile climate that there was for a while. I'm not really sure why. But doing a thing like Level Up then?
I think people would like to believe that it's a fear of competition, but I think it has more to do with fear of technological advancement. Because if you're already in the industry and you've got a pretty secure job and connections and stuff, then you shouldn't really be afraid of young people becoming better than you and taking your job. Like it's not really a rational thing to fear, because you've already got the political hand up. So like you've already got that, so you'll get work. But if you're a little bit older and you're coming from a traditional background, or if you're not really used to all the new techniques like you know, using Modo or Keyshot or stuff that's maybe out of your league, then I can understand why you become threatened by new guys, because even though they might, you know, not necessarily be better paying than you, they have tools that they can use that you can't, that are hot these days, that clients like to work with. And I think it's that fear mostly. I mean, that's what I've seen with people that I've talked to who are a little bit hostile towards helping others out, and you know, new artists like young kids showing up, because they just couldn't keep up with the technique, the technological evolution, basically. But yeah, that's not us. We're here to help.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
and
not
sell
us.
our new website.
Oh yeah, that website. I guess we will sort out the YouTube channel thing first, and then, you know, wrap our heads around the site.
Yeah. And then from next week on, you're going to need a subscription to watch Level Up.
Yeah,
and
like
it's going to be
$500 per
per
session.
Yeah. So start saving, guys. Start saving money.
You ass.
It's that or sexy pictures.
I'm just making fun of other people indirectly.
Yeah, you're intelligent bastard. Indirect fun.
You should have glasses, Jonas. That's how clever you are.
You asshole! You know, those glasses were actually. That's a picture of me taken in Tokyo wearing girls' glasses.
That didn't
Those
look
are
yours.
women's glasses.
To be fair,
the most embarrassing. I mean, but yeah, you know, the time will come.
The time will come.
that's why I like that picture so much, man. You in very unnatural glasses.
Titus,
Yeah.
can you explain to people how do you use the match color feature? Sorry, Jonas, I just want to hold that technical stuff.
Is this a question to me?
No, to Titus. How do you use a match color panel? Like, I know how to use it, but can you explain how? It's for people to know.
Like, for the record.
It's just, you know, I know all the shit you're doing, but I just tell people what's happening.
Do we even match, bro?
You're a good host, man.
Do you even match, bro?
So, in this image, I wanted to create like a tomb-like feel really quick. See, so I already did an image like that. We had the colors that I liked, and I could take my sweet time doing it. But let's say you did this kind of image, and they ask you, so could you do it again from a different point of view, or change designs, and you're stuck doing it basically again. What I'm trying to do now is being a lot less open with things, so I'm just taking pictures and almost using them as is. For the composition, I'll use them around. And because nothing matches, I use the color matching tool to sample the colors, and I try to avoid all the highlights because it will just do that completely wrong, and match all my photos independently to that. It will turn up really messy. It's not a perfect tool, but it will kind of get you close. It will get you in the ballpark, kind of where you need to be, which is nice because you know, oh, this is the sort of the range that I need to stay in. Afterwards, it will take a lot of balancing, but you'll use kind of the same techniques as before to try and kind of do that. I find that it's a pretty quick way of getting your values and all your stuff reasonably close to where you want it to be. It's a very much hit and miss type thing, but always try it out. It's a better starting point than absolutely nothing. So I tend to do that a lot with my older work, where I just kind of sample the colors and then change them later on because I like the value ranges in them. And, you know, it's just a bit quicker. If you have time to reinvent the whole palette, then it's good. Then I say do that. But yeah, sometimes just have to be
another
super
tip
quick.
that I can add to this, when you use the match color, if you're sampling from an image, it's going to take the entire color spectrum of that image. And sometimes if there's too many colors in the image, it will get a bit, you know, dodgy looking, a little bit too ravey. You can also just crop a piece of that image that has a nice range, you know, like let's say he had a sun in his previous drawing but he didn't want any yellows, he could just crop a small part of the ground which has a nice range and use the match color on that layer to sample from that, and that works well.
So we have to crop. As well. The selection doesn't work for that. Yeah, because you are referring
it doesn't matter, because you can pick any layer. When you're doing match color, you can pick any layer from a PSD file. So you can just select an area, copy that to a new layer, and then sample from that layer instead of the full image.
Yeah, that's what I did. If I kept the oranges in here, it will just look absolutely dramatic. Actually, I can copy a layer to maybe kind of show. It doesn't matter. Like if I would revert this back to the original color, and then sample it again, it wouldn't matter. It doesn't use the current colors. It just uses the new ones. So let's see if I put it to this one. Oh, it's actually not that bad. Well, that example, never mind. If there was a lot more orange in this thing, more fire, it would turn out worse.
I think people will see when they try it, because using match color often goes terribly, terribly wrong. Yes. Like you do it, you think it's going to be nice, and it's like, whoa, what's this? It just looked absolutely disgusting.
Like this is
but it's just, just keep trying.
Come on, selection. There we go, finally. So, doing it as I'm doing it right now is something that is used a lot more by me in studio work, where you take photo plates like this, almost as is, you kind of distort them into place, you maybe color match a little bit, and then you start working on the piece, and then the painting starts. It's a different approach because you're not really looking as much, you're not looking for shapes, you're not trying to get new shapes that arise from the photos you have, you're actually just pretty much using the shape language in the plate. Now, this is the problem. If you're not careful with this, you'll end up with something that looks exactly like your photograph, which is not actually what you want. So, let's see.
Let me pick a question. Does this technique not limit you to the shapes found in the original photos?
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. It, in a certain way, it does. Because you kind of start that way, and you might get stuck that way. But you have multiple passes on this image. So the difference is with the other one. Do I still have it open? I don't have it open. With the other one, you instantly start distorting it on the photo plate itself, and then when you paint over it, you paint already over a distorted surface. So the paint isn't actually influencing it that much. And here it's kind of the other way around, where what you will paint will actually very heavily influence the outcome of the image. So in this, the painting stage will be a lot rougher, but a lot more influential, if that makes any sense.
That makes perfect sense.
Let's see here. Right. With this technique, it's really a case of you need to be able to see a few steps ahead. You need to be able to see where you want your image to go. Otherwise, it just becomes a massive nightmare, because there's noise and unbalanced colors everywhere. So you need to keep that vision. It's kind of what I'm trying to do right now.
Jonas, Darek, are you doing any overpaintings right now, or?
Yeah, I just started a new one actually.
Yeah. All right, cool.
I will ask some questions because it's very quiet.
Yeah, I'm looking for those actually, but
no questions. No questions asked.
You recommend prostitution to make money? I should probably not pick that question, right?
yeah, man, that's why I said there's no questions.
Oh, someone already answered it. If you got a sexy body, prostitution is always a chance. There we go. That's a perfect answer.
I'm out.
That's how sad. Oh, there's some good stuff in the comments. What's the average wage for working for a company like Santa Monica? Santa Monica company? I think Santa Monica is just an area in Los Angeles. Or is that also a company? Probably.
It's only Santa Monica, right?
Okay. Right. Yeah, wages differ widely depending on which company you're working at. If you're a senior or if you're just a junior, if you're freelance or in-house. But all I can say is, you get a concept art job at a proper company, you're going to earn quite a lot of money. Like, you can actually earn a really decent living with this job. So,
Question to Titus: have you tried doing your own environmental 3D models to use it in your workflow? You know, Modo, Keyshot, and stuff.
Yes, I have. But I found it to be really slow. Sometimes, like, the reason why you do a 3D is because it gives you something extra. And I guess if you're really good at something, you invest a lot of time, it will reward you with all the extras you could ever want. But for me, the shots that I do, it doesn't really give me anything that I would directly need, and therefore I will never put the time in it to get something really cool out of it back again. You know?
Yeah, it does take a lot of time. I think the thing with using 3D is it absorbs a lot of time to get stuff modeled and done, but once you have it, you actually have great flexibility, and you have like a perfect rendering. You don't have to worry about lighting and stuff, and getting the photos to match. Exactly. So I think if you're doing polished stuff, it's actually very good to use 3D. Definitely in an industry where people want to suddenly see stuff from a different angle or whatever. If you're 2D painter and they go like, oh, can you just move the camera back a little bit? You're like, no, I can't. This is a 2D painting. If it's 3D, you can just move it around, render again. You got all your lighting, everything's there. So that's pretty good. Yeah. It's also good to render stuff that has materials that might be hard to paint. Like I personally use Keyshot a lot. If let's say that I want to put a jet plane into my painting. It's actually harder for me to paint a jet plane in proper perspective and foreshortening than to find a free jet model and put it into Keyshot and render it out and paint over it. So in that sense, you can use 3D, even in a rougher speed painting concepting work. But generally, and I think definitely the stuff that Titus is doing, there's no real benefit because you can just paint stuff and suggest it much faster than you would be able to do it getting renders, and the art directors or whoever the creative is doesn't really care that much about like the perfect rendering of it. Like they just want to see the ideas and the mood and stuff. And then 3D doesn't really give you that much of a benefit.
Yeah, you're adding extra steps that you just don't have a lot of time for or use for.
Yeah.
I guess with any of this job, as soon as you find the use for something, you'll do it. Didn't use photos before, now it's quicker, so you use photos. A lot of complex stuff. Okay, use 3D.
Should a concept artist specialize in one thing? For example, only in environment design, or also be able to do props, characters, etc.?
Ooh.
That's actually a hard question. I've answered it before, but it's tricky. Because actually both, like the opposite answers are both true.
Yeah,
and what it's good to do everything, and in a way good one thing. So
what I can say is that even if you're good at everything, you're probably gonna be pushed into doing the one thing that you're slightly better at. That's almost a given. So it's always useful to be able to do everything. But you know, if you're slightly better in characters, you're probably gonna do characters, and then you'll do characters for 8 hours a day, and then you gotta work really hard to keep your environments up. So there's this weird balancing going on that, yeah, you have to be good at everything, and everything's kind of tied to your fundamentals and observation skills. But companies will naturally want to push you in one direction because, you know, specialists. So for your portfolio, it's good to show everything, but showing a favor to one thing or the other might actually not be a bad idea.
Yeah, I did a toilet paper commercial last week, so that's my life.
You can always develop in one thing if you feel that you are a bit worse in that part, like characters or something for yourself. But if you have any, you know,
come on, man, that was so blatant, like so right in the face, like.
What?
My characters suck. I never do any characters that suck.
Yeah, but for yourself.
No, Darek wasn't.
I know.
And your characters don't suck. Remember those sexy ladies you sent me in Facebook chat? They were pretty good. I'm such a troll. Everyone must hate me.
I don't think so.
Everyone loves you, man.
Yeah, that's the reason.
You need.
I just, you know, when it gets too quiet, I just have to.
All that shit up.
I think I just need to turn off the heating. It's so hot in here. Oh my god. Take my clothes off.
That's what I wanted to say. And let's switch to your camera.
Whoa, no.
Jonas, did you use the photo bash technique in the sci-fi landscape you created? I think you created a lot of sci-fi landscapes, so it will be hard to tell.
Did I? I don't really do that much sci-fi, do I?
Like that Blade Runner thing, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't use the exact same technique as Titus does. Titus is more happy accidents. I mean, maybe not this one, but the previous one. Like, I don't really bash shapes and stuff that much. I'm more of a texturer, so I'll actually paint my shapes, like in a more traditional way. And then when I need surface detail very quickly, I will use photos to noise it up really quickly. I don't really use photo bashing techniques to get my initial compositions. I usually sort of, you know, more in a traditional sense, think them out before. So yeah, it's a different way of working. They're both good. Just try a bit of everything, you know.
Yeah. The traditional setup is really good. I just find that I'm so slow. Because I fall into that trap where I go like, is this a good, maybe I can make it a little bit nicer if I do this, and then, it just starts noodling forever.
Yeah, everyone finds their own path. So you just try a lot of things and you see what works for you. What works for you might not work for others. Just try stuff.
The important thing is that nothing is wrong.
Exactly.
Sort of.
Sort of. So yeah, it's kind of like how I would do it in the studio. So it's a lot of the original photo material is still very visible in a, I wouldn't say non-altered way, but we took some pictures that were from different things. You rearrange it, you change the colors on it, and you try to find this new mood, which is very important. And this technique is nice because it's just so incredibly quick. It's just so fast. So you could easily, if you size this down, do the lighting a bit better, like dress it up as a thumbnail, you could do a few of these a day, and you could really nail down a mood. And like, yeah, this is what I want. It's cool. Cool. Or not. You gotta have a thick skin though. Let's not forget that. I mean, raise your hand if you ever got really burnt by your art director, like bad, and you go like, oh, okay, that's okay.
You know, it's even more painful if their arguments don't really make sense, because you can't even say anything back to it. You just don't know what to say because it's just so not making any sense. You're just like but, and then you go crying in the corner.
And they got all Lumberg on you, man. If you could change that, that'd be great. No, I don't want to.
Oh no, Titus, your girlfriend is. Oh no, sorry, man. I just ruined it. I didn't know that she didn't know about the pictures that you've been sending me. Oh no, you're gonna have some explaining to do, man.
Oh, the biggest fail in the history.
Oh, I just broke the bro code. Oh no, live. Whoa.
500 people. Cool.
Watch me and my girlfriend fight live on TV. Subscribe now. For $5.99.
Is she there with you, or is she living somewhere else?
She's in the room. Suzanne, say hi. She's on a lag, but say hi. Suzanne, shout something.
Huh? What?
Say something.
There's a lag.
I know there's a lag. It's amazing. She has no idea what's going on, and I just called her over.
Hello.
When you sit back down in about 2 minutes, you're going to hear an amazing conversation.
All right.
Yeah, I just publicly apologized about, breaking the bro code.
We are in the future.
Sorry.
Man.
We're in the future.
So, Darek, Jonas, anything?
Yep, I can show something, I guess.
Cool. Go ahead, your screen is up.
Okay, it was work by Leonardo Vera. I really like that work, and it was posted, I think, a few times in our group. And he contacted me to maybe do something with it. It's kind of, I don't know, it's just a guy who got some arches on his
arrows.
Arrows, yeah, arrows. Sorry, in his armor, and I changed it completely, but it doesn't, it's not about the changing the pose, but overall mood, and making it a bit more dramatic. The scene is dramatic itself, so I just left the same.
Looks really nice, man.
Composition. Thanks, guys. But I changed a bit of pose to make it a bit more action, like he's just crouching from just pain or something like this. And I added another just different lighting, and just to emphasize the overall. So it's not finished yet, because the Leonardo has pretty nice details in his work, and I just made it in a few minutes. But I think that kind of scenes can be also emphasized with dramatic by the lighting effects. So if there is kind of just deadly scene or something, you can also play around with light to make it even more dramatic. So that's my point about that.
I have a question.
Sure.
Where are the sunbeams?
What?
Where are the sunbeams?
Sunbeams, man.
No, I don't do this on this picture, man.
You are a sunbeam addict?
No, not that much. Last time.
Okay, that's the last time I use sunbeams.
No,
Oh, man,
I will
great
do it sometime, but it has to be done slightly and in the right time, in the right place.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Perfect. Alright, going back to Titus.
Oh no. Oh.
Who is shouting? What the hell?
I'm not
Sorry.
Jonas is showing.
I just merged my perspective grid on the image, and I
Oh,
can't bring it back
painted
anymore.
it
So now
over.
I got this massive line crap all over my overpaint.
Oh,
Show it, man.
You just hardcore coded
No.
your perspective into the
This
image.
is way too embarrassing to show. Sorry, what?
You just hard coded your perspective into the image. Cannot be wrong.
Yeah.
just say that's how the pros do it.
Yes.
Duck line in.
This is the secret. Yeah.
That's all the pros do it. Oh, I'm messing my perspective up bad as well. This is not even how I shit. It's just okay. So this is sort of like how I always do it. It's even getting more distorted now. I think I got the other image on my brain so much that I distorted shapes that I'm just now going completely haywall with it. Usually you can retain a little bit more information than that I'm doing right now, but that's okay. It's okay.
And you're doing a 1 hour demo on that, so let's just say you're even not allowed to have more details in that.
I love it if you do a demo. It's like, guys, it's sort of like this, but not really. Did you get it? Like,
Yeah.
And if people have any questions about it, they know where to find me, I guess.
In Sweden.
In Sweden, personally. I will no longer answer
Just knock
emails.
into your door. Hey man, what brush that be?
I will only use snail mail. Just send me a signed letter. Yeah, that's it. Sweden is cool though, man. Everyone should come to Sweden for a visit.
Jonas, very specific question to you. Can you please tell
Hello.
us a little... Okay.
Next question.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying hello.
Can you please tell
Hello?
us a little... Can you please tell us a little about the piece you posted around mid-2013 called Charge?
Okay.
Do you even remember?
What can I tell about that? Oh yeah, I remember. I was actually in Australia when I did that piece, and I was very lazy in a couch. I was eating a lot of Hungry Jacks, which is like the equivalent of Burger King, and yeah, those were good days. And I was just I was listening to a lot of electronic music, and I saw a vision, like an epiphany, you know, of just an epic scene with cyborgs that had electricity powers, and then I just threw that piece.
Bam.
Bam.
Yeah, it just went poof, and it was there. No, I worked like 15 hours on it, and
So the poof was
there's some. Yeah, it was a very slow poof. Poof for 15 hours. But there's actually, if you go to my Facebook and you go back in time to around the time that I posted, I did post some process shots of that image, because I did that in a very traditional setting. I started with black and white values sketch, and then slowly went into the rendering. There's some 3D in there. Like I did some kid bashing for the spaceships. There's a lot of photo textures in there, and there's a lot of painting in there as well.
Another cool question. Can you talk about the industry workshop you're doing at the end of the August?
Oh yeah.
Just talk about that.
Yeah. So this is actually very cool, and I think everyone should come. So I'm organizing a workshop. I haven't really been spamming it yet because, you know, we're still setting everything up, but the tickets information will be available soon. First of all, this workshop is going to be cheaper than most workshops. We're actually trying to keep it as cheap as possible. Even though it's in London and the venue is quite expensive, it's actually going to be cheaper than most workshops. And so it's in central London, 3 days. and there will be a lot of great artists. It will be really amazing for me to be there working with these people. Jama is going to be there. He's going to be one of the instructors. I'm going to be one of the instructors. Levy, who is also really great. I've been looking up to him for many years. He's one of the first guys I knew who I looked at his stuff before I started doing concept art. He's going to be one of the instructors. John McCoy. There's many great names. So go to www.industryworkshops.com, and that's the website that we have right now. There will be more information, but basically the focus of this workshop is to give, it's an industry workshop. So we're kind of against the idea, like we don't want, it's not going to be an E3, where just hundreds of people look at someone who's really good doing cool stuff, but they don't explain anything. There's going to be no silent painting sessions. We're actually going to tell you stuff that you can use, and not just sit there and show you how awesome we can paint and then say goodbye. So there's going to be a lot of talk about actual industry stuff, like things that you really need to know how the industry works, not just stuff about painting, but more. It's also really going to focus on the the aspect of actually working in this thing, and how you have to deal with getting clients, and how you have to deal with nasty art directors, and so it's really focusing on the job more than just being a cool painter. Like it focuses on being a professional and not an artist. If that makes any sense.
Nice, yeah.
But yeah, more information about that soon.
Cool, man. I'm in.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, you should come, man. Yeah.
Totally in.
Well,
Yeah.
I will post a link to the website in the chat, actually.
Yeah, do that. And maybe post it also to the event page, so people that are watching us will see it on Facebook. Titus, I love this cyan blue lights. It does it for me, Crazy.
It's another, well, trick, no, thing, I don't know. It's another something. If you keep your palette.
That's certainly yours, Like, I can recognize your piece by even looking at a thumbnail and just, recognizing the moods, certain way you paint your atmospheres and lights. And the amount of color you are using is very mindful, like very, you're not splashing colors all over the place. You're building it up slowly.
It's one of the things that I used to struggle with a lot when painting full realism, like super daylight realism. It kind of gets the same approach, but there's a lot more colors and a lot more saturation, obviously. Going on, so I'm actually having a lot of fun with that now, trying to get that stuff in. And actually, it's not turning out to be a dud. It's turning out to be okay. I'm happy. I was watching that John Cleese video today.
You were watching what?
The John Cleese video about keeping an open mind and how creativity works.
Oh, nice! I've seen you posting it. Let me go
it is
to
really
the wall.
good. I can recommend it to everyone who is just a while. If you haven't seen it or haven't seen it for a while, just go see it. It surprised me because it came from John Cleese, and he's approaching the topic in a cool John Cleese kind of way, and it opened my eyes to a lot of things and a lot of processes that we all have. That sitting around looking at ref, waiting for inspiration to come to paint something is actually a very valid approach. You just kind of let your mind do stuff while you think about the image, and it's good.
I'm just posting that video.
We should never feel pressure.
The event page.
Yeah. I think. Was it Emerson Tung? I don't know. I saw it on someone's wall today. You can see who I shared it from. So I was like, yeah, that's brilliant, man. It's so good. All those videos are good.
Not all the videos.
Some videos are really good.
Careful with the superlatives, Titus. We're not in America.
You got to bring a bit of that over, a bit of the showmanship, right?
Yeah.
Maybe if that slowly comes, we can get the American cost of living here in Europe as well. Mm.
That would be great.
So yeah,
and
so
also
we can
those wheelchairs that you know, those electric wheelchairs. We
the
need
rascals.
to get that over here.
Yeah. Question:
I mean,
will you have rascal
Going
racing?
grocery shopping and those things is just awesome. You don't even have to walk around the convenience store anymore. You can just sit on your ass and do your shopping.
You need to have rascal races at the industry workshop.
Yeah.
Like rascal drag racing.
Oh yeah, foggy thing.
Foggy, yeah, just fog it up. Concept art trick number 34. Hide things.
Yes, like cloud brush.
If people don't need to look at something, hide it with stuff.
Exactly.
Actually,
Cannot paint it, hide it.
it sounds kind of like a bullshit excuse, but it's actually true. Sometimes you have an artifact in there and you know people will pick up on it. And just like, no, just hide it.
Yeah,
just put a sign in front of
like
it. Do
2
whatever.
hours to the deadline. And just
Yeah. It is kind
I
of
have
a
that
thing.
with live drawing feet. Like, I really suck at drawing feet, and when I do live drawing, I always like find a way not to have to draw the feet because they're just so awkward and they just always look weird when I draw them. So I just chop them off. It's the easiest thing to do. Just
chop
get rid
the
of
feet
them.
off. Just kind of fade it like from the calf down, fade it a little bit, and then just put a head of a new character then.
Or just do some blurry stuff and just say that you're trying to be expressive. You know, the mush crap. No, it's just expressive work, you know. Just trying to explore different ideas, you know.
Be the amazing sketchbook. Go from blurry things to coffee stain to ripped page, like do whatever you can.
yeah, but
That's what it's all about.
still.
I think I'm lagging out.
You're
I think
selling it for 20 grants.
I missed it. I'm lagging out. I see mics being muted like every second. Is that just me? Am I just the only one seeing that?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. I can now.
Alright, I don't know what happened. Seems like Jonas and Darek was dropped.
No, I'm still here.
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay, because your thumbnails are like frozen.
I see the same with Titus.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
We're being hacked.
That's okay right now. I will have one more overpaint pretty soon to just discuss pretty quickly.
Nice.
What?
Yeah, I'm still working on it because I'm doing like an entire overpaint, and I'm trying to get that perspective grid out of there.
Okay.
Right, maybe Titus, can you talk a bit about your personal project called Discovery?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Do it.
It is not what
Yes.
you
So
think.
first of all, what's your bank account number?
So with Discovery, I was goofing around with this a lot with Robbie Trevino, who might or might not be here. We'll never know. But I'm gonna tell you guys anyway. This seems like a good time. About all the people doing like their amazing personal projects. You see that coming along, like Suzanne has her Caldera project, which is coming along really cool, and you see the Obliscura project, and you know, tons of that. And we were thinking like we need that as well. Only let's not make our own IP. Let's talk about the extremely fucked up process that artists go through in order to get there. So Project Discovery has been going for quite a long time now, and what we do is we make paintings for whichever reason, and we actually log all the frustrations and epic lows and highs that we go through, and we have ask other artists to kind of do the same. So Discovery will be this collection of really cool artworks, and then the massive insecurities and or giant egos that come along with it. So we kind of record all our things, so people get a really nice insight, like, oh my god, this image is so cool, and the artist is saying, fuck me, this is the shittest day ever. Nothing's working out.
Man, that's like the perfect idea.
Is this a secret trick to like demotivate people? Like, wow, actually these people are really unhappy. Probably not get into this job.
Well, maybe it's a ploy to keep people out of our industry. No, it's. I think there's a lot of misconceptions that about how artists feel and kind of operate, and that either we're machines or we're on the top of the world and always making these amazing paintings and stuff, and it simply doesn't work that way. And when you hear people talking about famous people who are not in the room, you hear a lot of misconceptions. You're like, well, I think by now we've established that all of it is hard work. Yeah, sure, but there's a lot of kind of like fun stuff. Maybe it's the written bloopers behind the scenes. What's going on? So yeah, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to build up a library of those kind of thoughts from all different kind of people.
I love that, man. That's a very cool idea.
Not to demotivate, obviously.
Not.
No, but you're putting like you're sort of expanding on the art form, which is pretty cool because you're adding this whole writing aspect. So you're adding an extra dimension, and it gives people an insight at the same time. So that's very nice.
Yeah, it's. I mean, artists in a certain way or at certain times can be quite vulnerable to criticisms and things that people say. So I think it's nice to touch upon that as well. It's such an important part of making cool artwork is who you are, and where you are in your life, how you're feeling influences so much how your work looks. So and in case you're wondering, yes, I was planning on asking all of you guys to do the same, to contribute to the book.
It would be great, huh?
I thought it was a personal project from you alone. I had no idea about it.
Yeah.
I'd love to do it.
Yeah, we already got a couple of nice people, really cool people contributing. Even if it's one image with one thought, you like write down your thought when you're painting for a day or two, and that's it. But I think it will hopefully give people a laugh. And we mostly see it that we give it to people who aren't artists, but maybe to artists' parents or brothers and sisters who have maybe a hard time relating to. Okay, so what kind of person am I in the room with? Wow. Because not everyone has understanding parents, though.
Yeah. I have a question.
I would totally buy that kind of an art book.
Doing... Sorry? Okay. Titus?
Yeah? What? Yeah, what? I didn't hear the question. Was there...
Sorry, no, because I haven't asked it yet. No, I was just wondering if... let's say you're doing a painting and you're not really feeling any frustrations, everything's sort of going smooth. Is that then something to add, or are you really looking for stuff where you sort of challenge yourself and go out of your comfort zone that you can actually write about your emotions and experiences?
No, it's like every thought is a cool one. It's equally funny to have a really beautiful painting where there's the most mellow thought, like today went exactly like I wanted to. Like, there you go.
Okay, so it doesn't have to do with frustrations.
No, it's just everything. It's just feeling good, feeling bad.
Right?
Yeah, it's a discovery. It's just you discovering the people reading it, discovering how people work, and we're showing them really epic worlds at the same time. So it's kind of this thing which can be attached to like any project, anything, any image will do really. It doesn't really matter. So yeah, it's a bit different than you're making around. I'll leave the making really cool IPs to the people who are good at it. I'll just stick to my pretty pictures.
Like you.
I'm just here to paint pretty pictures. That's it.
So Darek, Jonas?
Well, like 9 things. So.
I'm just pretty finished with the last one. So
I'm almost done.
Can you share the screen, Wojtek, online?
It's already shared.
Okay, I just finished that one with just few final touches. I don't know if you can see it right now.
Yeah.
So it was just, you know, just regular polishing the stuff and matches the values as the final picture. So as I said, it's a bit in more dramatic lighting, and yeah, just started working out on this one. I probably found it in our mailbox today, and I don't know even why I just picked up that kind of picture, but but I wanted to make something, you know, just more colorful and make it a bit clear, maybe a bit cartoony, but still living a bit of realistic way of painting. So I just made this kind of picture with it, and
I love it, man. It's great.
Those clouds are epic.
thanks, guys.
Yeah.
I just wanted to try, you know, making something.
You should do some, you know, stylized stuff.
Yeah, your brush looks really nice.
Cool.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I just wanted, you know, just to try it, to make it more colorful, because it was. I really like that idea of, you know, just kind of pretty canvas world with warm colors and pretty lights, everything, but it hadn't even colors in it, because there are a lot of parts which are probably made on gradient after layer selection, and it had a lot of grays, and I really like that area which was enlightened with kind of orangey lighting. But I wanted to make on every object a bit of local color with suiting into the lighting which is going on. So there is still some work on this seal house. I don't know if it's camel or something, but I think it's pretty done. So I just put the colors on it and matches the lighting, leaving overall the feeling from the first version. So I think it's it.
Nice.
Nice work, man. Looks
Thanks,
great.
guys. Thanks, bros. Okay, you can switch for
Okay.
it.
Are you done with yours, Jonas?
I'm almost done. Yeah. I mean, I guess you can. I still have some perspective lines in there, but I ended up going with the different vanishing points, so they're actually completely pointless now. But yeah. Okay. Let's just because we're almost 2.5 hours in, so we need to start rounding up anyway.
Yeah. Where's Wojtek?
So you can.
Did he leave? Did he?
Oh, is he gone?
I don't see him.
What a host.
Left without so much of a word. Whose screen share is on right now?
Is it on 9?
I'm not sure. It should be on Darek's actually.
Yeah.
Wojtek, where are you, man?
Sorry, guys. Yeah, sorry, I was answering the phone. Sorry, guys. Should I switch the screen to someone?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's a time to just screen share to
Jonas?
We are
Okay.
wrapping up.
It's on yours, Jonas.
Yeah. Okay, so I chose this image because the last one that I did, I couldn't really change that much because it was already so awesome.
Mhm.
And I think this one needs a lot of work. So let's talk about what's wrong here. First of all, there's bad perspective, so the person is not really using vanishing points correctly. There's also not a lot of depth or values or good painting techniques. And I actually used more of like a photo bashing technique to do the overpaint. So this is just a redo of the concept basically.
Oh man.
Just trying
Nice.
to show. I put some sunbeams in there. You see that?
A little
Those
different. Wow, dude.
Can you
They don't have
zoom
to be
it?
there.
Zoom it
Why
a
not?
bit.
Awesome.
Oh, sorry.
Jonas, can you zoom in?
So yeah, you can see that.
Okay.
Yeah, I am zoomed in.
Yeah, it's amazing. Wojtek, you are.
But I don't want to. I don't want you to see my perspective grid. Huh? Sorry.
No, I just wanted to tell that Wojtek is just the voice of Wojtek is out of place. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So yeah, basically I'm just trying to show the person you need depth, you need to feel the space. So here, when you have like very small elements in the background, like here, you can actually see. Yeah, I know my perspective grid's in here. It's not supposed to be here. You can actually see that there's something far away, and then putting like a nice light source. There's not really a light source here. The cabin's being lit from the right, but the light source should be here then, not here. And also, yeah, the perspective was just completely off on this one. I've gone for a more parallel perspective because it gives more depth. And what else can I say about this image? It needs more work as well, so I'm actually not done yet. But
already looks
I think it would be good for
yeah, it's crazy.
Compare it and see the difference. Okay, I'm thinking if I can say anything else about it. Yeah, just for the artist, try to use some photos like I did here. Like for example, I just took this mill out of this picture, and because I think the person doesn't have enough basic knowledge to actually paint the stuff from scratch, and maybe like looking up some references will help you understand depth and stuff, and you can use it to texture your image a little bit if you feel comfortable doing that. I'm not saying that you should replace painting practice, but I think for this case it would benefit. For example, the sky, like don't paint it, just take a photo and paint over that, so you actually.
Yeah, we are not here to tell you not to train your fundamentals, but you can just speed up the process somehow. If you understand the basics, you can easily just replace the thing that you just needed. You don't need to paint.
Yeah, exactly. And like here, it's clear that the brush work for the clouds is not working. So you either got to use some cloud brushes, or you got to use a photo and paint over it. But doing a sky with a hard brown brush is very hard. So
yeah, sure.
Actually, there is a question.
Okay, I think we're going to be rounding up soon.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yep.
Yes, I can hear.
Yeah, so back to Titus. Yeah, I think we'll wrap up with that awesome view on the amazing painting. Bam! It's beautiful, man.
Yeah. That lightings.
Thanks, gang.
That's the mood.
I'll post it. See, that's it. The painting is rough as hell, but there's the mood.
Yeah, there's the mood. Exactly. Post it to the event page and to the Level Up group. And for you guys, thank you all for coming. Please subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with everything. We'll post more info, and we'll post all the videos on the YouTube channel. Then we will launch the website. Sorry for the delay with all of that. That's because we are pretty busy doing our own things like working and stuff, and this is free, so we are trying our best to provide the best quality, because it would be really easy to provide you with really crappy website, but we don't want to do that. We want to do the best we can, even though it's free, but it will take more time. So first we will do a YouTube channel, then the website. So please subscribe to the website, and yeah, share the love further. Spread the word about Level Up, about what we are doing here, because I think this is pretty cool, So thank you, Titus, for devoting 2 hours and 29 minutes from your Sunday.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. That's
awesome. So again,
thanks for coming.
Go to Facebook, just type in Titus Lunter, follow the guy. Also, you can see his painting in the Level Up group, so it's really easy to go to his profile and follow him. So thank you, Titus, for coming. Thanks to Darek and Jonas for doing amazing overpaints, and thanks to me for not doing them.
No, thank you for being the great host.
Yeah.
You were like the godfather who is keeping this crappy family together, you know? Sitting at...
Kiss my ring. Yeah. All right,
Yeah, thanks
guys.
again
So
for having me, guys.
thank
It's
you
been
all,
great.
and have a great week, and see you guys on Sunday. We will post an info about the next guest in an hour or so. So stay in touch and stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Stay in touch. What the hell am I?
Take care. Bye.
Did you say cheese?
Yeah, cheers, guys. Goodbye.
Cheese or cheers?